Hello children, welcome to the Study Corner YouTube channel. So today we are going to study about the biotic and abiotic components. As we all know that the surrounding of us, it is called as the environment. So we are going to study about the environment, and the study of the environment is called ecology. So what is ecology? Ecology is the study of the environment. An environment is the surroundings in which an organism lives. So here the environment, it includes both the living things and the non-living things. And ecology involves studying how living things interact with the other living things, how living things interact with the non-living things. So here the environment is made by both living things and non-living things, and both these living things and non-living things, they are interdependent. So here in this ecology or ecosystem, we can again do the classification. So the ecology, or we can say environment, is classified into two parts. One is the biotic factor, another one is abiotic factor. So environment is made up of two parts, biotic and the abiotic. Okay children, so in biotic, what all the sub parts will come? The first one is the biotic component is nothing but, biotic means living things. The living things comes under biotic factors, and the non-living things comes under abiotic factor. Okay, then biotic factors or biotic components. So in this, the examples for the biotic are plants, animals, scavengers, decomposers, and the bacterias, human beings. All these comes under the biotic components or biotic factors. In that, first is the producers. The first is producers, that is nothing but the plants. Then is the primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers. So these all three comes under the belongs to animals only. And then the third one is decomposers. And all these plants, animals, decomposers, they are depending on the abiotic factors, that is nothing but air, water, sunlight and temperature. As you know that the producers, that means plants, why the plants are called as the producers? Because the plants will produce the food, they'll prepare their own food. Okay, so they don't need any other organism to prepare the food, so they are the producers of the food. And then these plants, they are depend on the abiotic factor, like the air. The plants require carbon dioxide, which is air, which is gas. It is helpful for the preparation of the food. The plants require the oxygen, which is gas, and it is also required for the plants for the respiration, for the survival. So even the sunlight is also a biotic factor, which is non-living thing, and still this non-living thing is very helpful for the plants. Why? Because of the sunlight, the plants can prepare the food. So like this, the biotic factors are depending on the abiotic factors. Okay, children. So here we have the some examples of biotic and abiotic components. As you know that biotic components are nothing but living things. Okay, so examples comes plants, animals, bacteria, fungus, scavengers, decomposers. All these comes under biotic components, and then comes the abiotic components. So what are those? Any non-living thing? Okay, minerals, air, water, temperature, light, soil. All this comes under the abiotic components, or nothing but we can say non-living things. Okay, children. And next we will learn about the interaction with an ecosystem, biotic and abiotic. The biotic factors is an ecosystem are just important as the biotic factors because they all interact with each other. So here we can't say that only the living things are very important in the environment. Even the non-living things, biotic factors are also very important. So the environment, it is nothing but it is balanced by both the living things and the non-living things. Okay, so without the non-living things, living things cannot survive on this earth. Plants and animals, they can't survive without oxygen, water, nutrients, without the temperature, without the sunlight, so which are abiotic. So plants need the light for the photosynthesis, and photosynthesis they can be do the photosynthesis process only in presence of carbon dioxide, which is abiotic, only in presence of the sunlight, which is abiotic, and only in presence of only when they have the water and when they get the sufficient nutrients, then they can survive. So these all are the non-living things which are helpful for the survival of the plant. And even the plants survive when they will respire. So for the respiration they take the oxygen. Even the oxygen is also non-living thing. So the biotic components and abiotic components, they are required for each other. It's not like that only the in biotic components is required on this earth. No, both should be there on this earth. Otherwise the abiotic components, if not they, means the biotic components will not survive. So children, here we have the energy pyramid. Okay, so energy pyramid. In this energy pyramid, if we go down, first is the producers, that is nothing but the plants. So as I told, plants provide us with oxygen and food, both of which are absolutely necessary for the survival of the animals. So we get the oxygen from the plants, we get the food from the plants. This oxygen and food both are helpful for the survival of the animals. Green plants make their own food, and by the help of the process called the photosynthesis. But to prepare the food, they need the abiotic components such as water, sunlight, carbon dioxide. So children, so they will take all these components from the atmosphere, and then they will prepare the food. And plants helps in recycling of the carbon dioxide into oxygen in the atmosphere. Do you know the plants, it will take the, when we animals, okay, we animals exhale the carbon dioxide, the carbon dioxide goes to the atmosphere. And if there is no balance in the there is no balancer which can take the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, then the atmosphere will be filled with the full of carbon dioxide only. So then at that time what happens, we don't get the oxygen will be consumed, all the oxygen will be consumed, and only the carbon dioxide will be left over on this atmosphere. So to stop this, here the plants are very helpful. The carbon dioxide which is exhaled by the animals, it is taken by the plants. They will take the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and they will produce the oxygen to the atmosphere. So the plants will balance the carbon dioxide and the oxygen. When plants die, the abiotic components return to the environment. The plants, they will take the nutrients from the soil, right children? So the nutrients now which was in the soil, it is entered into the plant's body when they will take the nutrients from the soil. And when these nutrient, okay, which will be there in the plant's leaf, plant's fruit, okay, when the other animals, like we can say the primary consumers or the herbivores, when they will eat these food, these nutrients from the soil, first it was entered in the plant's body, and then from the plant it is entered into the animal's body. So when these animals, when these plants, they will die, the plant's body and animal's body, they have the nutrients. Again that nutrients, they will go to the soil. So these nutrients, they will be in the atmosphere only, they will be in the environment only, but it is in the different uh, place. So first it was in the soil, and then the plants will absorb that. When the plants will absorb that, the animals will take from the plant, and then when they will die, again the nutrient goes to the soil. So here primary consumers are nothing but the we can say the primary consumers are nothing but the herbivores, children. So herbivores, the animals which eat the plants, okay, are called the herbivores. And then secondary consumers, the animals, okay, which eat the plants also, and the primary consumers also, or only the primary consumers are comes under the secondary consumers. Okay, the animals which eat the plants and animals, they are comes under the secondary consumers. And then is the tertiary consumers. Tertiary consumers, here comes the scavengers. Tertiary consumers are nothing but the scavengers, or we can say vultures. This comes under the tertiary consumers, okay children. So here the animals that feed on uh, the dead remains of the other animals are known as the scavengers. For example, crows, vultures, okay, rats, even owls. Okay, owls also comes under the scavengers, or we can say tertiary consumers. The animals that feed on the dead remains of other animals, they are comes under the scavengers, and they are comes under the tertiary consumers. So hope you children understood about the biotic factor, producers, plant, and then the consumers, primary, secondary, tertiary, which comes under the animals. Okay, so this is about the biotic factors. And in the consumers, again there are four types. As I told you, the primary consumers is the herbivorous, and secondary consumers is the carnivorous and omnivorous, and the tertiary consumers are nothing but the scavengers. Okay, and also as I told you, the producers are nothing but organisms that make their own food are called as the producers, and organisms that eat the producers or the other consumers are called as the consumers. Example, consumers means the one who depend on the other organism for the survival, for the food, are called as the consumers. And next in the biotic factor, there is one more is there, that is nothing but the decomposers. Decomposers are the organisms that feed on decaying matter by breaking down of the components into the simple substance are known as the decomposers. Animals feeding on decaying matter, the animals which eat the decaying matter are called as the decomposers. So here earthworms, mushrooms, bacteria, these are the example for the decomposers. Decomposers feeds on the remains of other animals. Decomposers play an important role, okay, in the ecosystem. By digesting the dead matter, they put nutrient back into the soil, make them available to producers. So as I told, when the animals die, their body contains the nutrients. So these decomposers, they will feed on those dead decaying matter, and from that decaying matter the nutrients will again goes to the soil, and again from the soil the plants will consume the nutrients.